guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing another show and tell video. I want to share with you a project that I was recently commissioned to do by RSVP Sellers Publishing, and it was to design 3 greetings cards for their new high note greeting card range. So I was sent over the brief and they actually wanted to license 2 designs that I had already in my portfolio, and then they wanted to commission a further 1 birthday card design, which then I had to come up with and supply to them. So I'm going to share a bit about the process of designing that card, and hopefully you'll find it interesting and inspiring. As I was working remotely, all of our contact was done via email, so I had to make sure I kept track of where they all were and put them in one folder to make it easy for me to see all the communication I had. First part of the process was to decide on the concept. So they sent over 3 or 4 copy ideas, which is basically the words that would appear on the card, and from there I started to create some thumbnails that I thought would fit with those ideas. One phrase that really stuck out to me was "always be wild and free," and immediately I started thinking of floral jungle kind of theme, which I think would really work well with that type of copy. I've also done this phrase in the past for a number of other designs, so it was a phrase that I was really comfortable with and one that I probably felt the most affinity with. I always start with paper and pencil and started sketching animals that may be in the jungle, and also plants and flowers that I thought would really work well. Another stipulation of the cards was that they had to include creative embellishments, so I had to bear in mind that the card may be die cut, or it may have glitter or foil, and actually that was quite exciting for me because it meant that they were going to be quite premium. It meant that though the design could actually have a bit more 3D element to it. The design ended up being on 3 panels, which could be folded out and actually look quite exciting for the person who would receive it. Once I got a final approval on the pencil sketches, I took it into Illustrator and started to work up the shapes. I used Illustrator brushes, but I also mixed it in with hand-painted elements, and my wording was also hand-painted and then scanned in. They had actually said to me that they would be using quite bright inks in the printing process, which meant that I would definitely take advantage of this and wanted to use a nice bright colour palette. Hot pinks and blues with warm yellows, so the design really would catch your eye and stand off the shelf. I also wanted to include texture elements as well, so I created a sheet of speckled texture, which I then was able to bring into Illustrator and layer in with the icons. Adding the texture brings the depth into the design. The most exciting part actually was receiving the samples in the post, which I received earlier this year, and was very excited to see how the designs had translated to the printing. And especially with the creative embellishments, you can see that the writing on the "always be wild and free" really works well with that bluey, greeny foil and looks really premium. So I worked with RSVP on a licensing contract, which means they pay me a fee for usage of the cards, so I got an advance up front. This is quite a good way of working with a client because it meant that I was able to be paid up front, but also as the cards sell I will get a percentage of royalties. I should receive a check every 6 months until the card line has stopped being printed. Overall, the process was really positive and I thoroughly enjoyed being part of the creative process. So you can buy these cards directly online from RSVP, or if you're in the States, you could probably find them in all good retailers. Just look for the High Note brand. If you do see my cards out there in the wild, it would be great to hear from you and see a picture. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I look forward to speaking again with you soon. Bye!